Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in four straight. It was a sweep.
In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Boston. The Reds win the pennant.
Larkins won the game.
That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none.
Welcome Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded. The outfield deep and around toward right to the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on. Long drive. Right field. And this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive. Left center field. Racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first run ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day.
All right. We're here in the flesh. Nick, are you going to run the ones and twos? I think that's what they say in the business.
Yeah, I'll run the ones and twos. I mean, we got to have some people jump on. I mean, everyone complains. You never take call-ins at Chatterbox.
Oh,
But then
they'll
you
be
open
coming
the
in.
phone line.
They'll be coming
All
in.
right, well, I put the thing in there about 20 minutes ago, so come on, folks.
Well, you got to explain them what they got to do. You got to click on the link.
I think
Takes
I
you
have
into
it
the
pinned.
backstage. There'll be some
I
people
also
coming
posted it on the Discord if you're a Chatterbox.
in.
So you can get it, find it there too.
Let's really quickly though. Can we play weathermen? I've looked at this radar, Nick. I'm not trying to get my hopes up. I don't see how they play.
Yeah, I
don't see how they play. I mean, it looks like it's not going to stop raining. Even like moderate rain. I think it's pretty much heavy rain the entire time. But let's just say it doesn't stop raining until like 12:30. They're not waiting that long. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I think we got a caller from GABP.
All right, even better.
What? Dylan Rutschman, what's up, brother?
What up?
How's the weather looking, by the way?
It's wet.
Really?
Wet is the report. It's just as bad as the first go around.
Okay.
I should have AirPods in. I apologize for not.
Right. So you can't even hear us.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, you can. All right.
Yes, no, I can hear you. I apologize for the wind or loud noises.
No, that's okay. Have you seen the grounds crew ever get the tarp on any faster than they did tonight, by the way? I mean, have you ever seen a bunch of old men that have little to no athleticism be able to move a heavy object across the field as fast as they did? Do they not realize that there's scoreboards all over the place at Great American Ballpark, and it's past the 5th inning, and the Reds are winning? Do they not understand the drill down there?
Hey, I tell you what, I've never seen the Rays start falling and they get out of that dugout so quickly. I mean, they're at the middle of an at-bat and they're getting out of here so quickly. They knew that we should probably get the tarp on. Overall, they probably made the right decision. But, yes, I agree with you, Trace. I saw your tweet. I vent your frustration with me. But Freddie Freeman just got a hit. They're showing the game on the Jumbotron right now.
Nice.
Dodgers-Padres. Go Dodgers. And let's win a ball game. Hopefully we can win one while it's rained out still.
Dylan, did you get a bobblehead tonight?
I did. I got here at 4 o'clock.
Did you already put it on eBay or no?
I did not. I'm a true fan.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How many people were offering you $20 as you walked around the concourse to buy it from you?
I typically just act like they're not there.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, I got $100 from a Hello Kitty bobblehead in Boston one time. I'm not giving up an Ellie De La Cruz bobblehead for that.
All right. Fair enough.
So,
go ahead, Nick.
the true story. So I took my kids to the Tyler Stevenson bobblehead. We did not get there in time for the Tyler Stevenson bobblehead. And, I was trying to explain to my kids we had to get there earlier. They wanted to go to a birthday party, the whole thing. What does my daughter do? She just goes up and asks someone, can I have your Tyler Stevenson bobblehead? And they gave it to her. I mean, there was just no fear in this girl. She did not understand the protocol. And she got one for her brother, too. So,
well, there you go.
All right. Any serious, really serious sports talk show questions that you might have, Dylan, before we send you off into the abilities?
I just I wanted to provide a view from Great American Ballpark is all, and it's wet. That's the update.
Well, Dylan, we will never forget this moment because you were the caller that broke the seal on this and opened the floodgates. So you are an official leader of men here at Chatterbox, and we greatly appreciate you and your service, my friend.
And hey, Nick, I saw a Nick Lodolo complete game if this game ends.
Hell yeah.
Hands up, I saw a Nick Lodolo complete game, and if you're on the Discord on Chatterbox Sports, you know my feelings.
Fair enough.
It was for you, just for you. All right, Dylan. All right, we're going to go to Grant. Appreciate you, Dylan. All right, I'm going to bring on Grant, but before we get to Grant, we got super chats. So I guess we get to them. Optimistic John, I saw you pop in, but he was not waiting. My guy was not going to wait 5 minutes. So Optimistic John, we'll get you in, brother, but you are going to have to wait in line. I would love nothing more than to talk to Optimistic John. But let's get to some supers here. If I can figure out, we can put them up on the screen.
Oh, this is real big league.
Are
you reading the supers or am I reading them?
You have to read them. I'll do everything else for this.
Oh, okay. All right. Rolf, as Grant sit here and he just has to wait his turn as we read off super chats.
That's good. That's good.
That must be just a lovely thing to have to do. But Rolf says, isn't the game final/official after 5.5 innings? Yeah, the answer is yes. It is
4.5.
How's that? You can't
4.5 if the home team's winning.
Yes. All right. I'm glad you. Good job. Yes. Am I misremembering MLB rules? My goodness. If I was on the team, I'd be eating about 1,000 peanuts in the clubhouse right now. You never know where Rolf super chats are going. I'm trying to proofread this as I go. I'll be eating 1 billion tomorrow for fuel at Dollywood. He's in Dollywood.
Oh, Dollywood. That's bigly. I haven't been to Dollywood in a long time.
Yeah.
Used to go there all the time.
I didn't know Dollywood still was a thing, but nonetheless, thank you, Rolf, with a 50 bomb. Rolf doesn't even super chat anymore unless it's over like $20. It's ridiculous. I have a beautiful. I think he meant beautiful. I don't know if there's supposed to be a space there or not, but I tried to read it the way he wrote it. View of these storms from my office building at CVG. Hashtag third shift life. Hashtag go Reds from DK. Donkey Kong, if you're wondering what DK
he's
meant.
super chatting mid shift.
Yeah, I mean, that must be, I must say, Donkey Kong, that's what they're looking for down there at CVG from an employee, like, efficiency standpoint. I bet that's in the protocols down there. It's super chat, Chatterbox Reds while you're on the job. That is exactly what I'm sure management is looking for down there at CVG.
Appreciate you, DK.
All right, Grant, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, y'all. I'm super excited to be here. First of all, I wanted to say I'm heartbroken. I'm an Arkansas Razorback baseball fan and just
what a joke.
turmoil. I'm a season ticket holder, so I just had to watch turmoil while I was watching the Reds on my phone. And yes, the drop foul ball back in 2018 hurt me enough. This one may have hurt me again. I tell people all the time, I know it's easy to be. They're like, you're an Arkansas Razorback fan. Your life must suck. I say, no, I'm a Reds fan too. So I know pain, double pain.
That was brutal. Really quickly, Grant, I got to tell you, there are times where I try to delegate what I watch. Obviously, I watch a lot of Reds games. I didn't have 2 TVs at my disposal, so I was kind of going back and forth. I got stuck on the Arkansas game. I seen a clip the other day of someone talking about the head coach at Arkansas and how much it would mean to them if they could win a championship for him. I was like, you know what? That's where my heart's gonna lie for the World Series. So here I am. I have this weird small interest in trying to hope Arkansas can find a way to win this game. I got to tell you, I will say, if I was an Arkansas fan and I was doing this show, and you're an Arkansas fan, I'll do my best for you. You can't possibly be more incompetent as a baseball team than they were in the 9th inning. I don't know what the hell they were doing. You have your first baseman ranging over 900 feet to his right, thinking that he's going to make a play that the second baseman is just waiting for. Then you have the shortstop taking the lead runner at third base when, by the way, you're up by 2, man. That guy means nothing on a double play ball, and then the left fielder can't find a way to catch a ball when he probably has caught that same ball 999 times out of 1,000 in his career. So I feel your pain.
Well, and it's
crazy. Show could care less, but I will say, Grant, I feel your pain.
Well, it's crazy too, and I'll go to the Reds conversation. Is the shortstop that didn't turn the double play might honestly end up being a Cincinnati Red.
Nope. I've seen enough of him. I've seen enough of him. Maybe he's going to be the world's best baseball player, but I mean, he wasn't even wasn't thinking in that moment.
But no. So I appreciate y'all having me on. I'm very curious here. Reese Hines. I've been a big Reese Hines fan from the beginning. Obviously, he's been playing pretty well in AAA. Where do you think we can find a place for him? I'm starting to believe that we should try at first base. I think it's really funny though. I was reading a lot from Bryce Spalding and all his stuff, and he's like, "Why the heck is Steer batting fourth today?" I thought it was ironic that he hit a home run. But I'm very curious if Reese Hines has the ability to try to learn first base. And then also, I'm going to the game on Saturday in St. Louis. I live in Arkansas now. And let's just say we've won the last 7 games I have attended, including the 2 Kansas City Royals games this year.
Wade Miley on the hill.
Wade Miley on the hill means I am going to see a perfect game from Wade Miley.
Yeah.
And Miles Michaelis too. Reds have had Michaelis's number for the most part.
The Lizard King himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we talked about this on yesterday's show a little bit with what you do with Reese Hines. I don't. It's hard. It's hard to. I'll tell you what. With Jake Fraley playing well, it does make it a little more like.
It does.
It does make it a little more difficult to try to answer. Plus, you add in the fact that Candelario's coming back, and I don't care what anybody says. Candelario is going to get another opportunity. He makes too much money.
He does.
You can say he doesn't. We can all disagree and think that that's not a good reason, but that is a reason, and it's going to happen. So we might as well just accept the fact that Candelario will be on this team. And if I'm wrong, I'll happily be wrong. But I don't know. Nick, you got any thoughts on Hines?
Well, they had him taking ground balls at first base when he was up with the big leagues, and I don't know if that just went so bad that they abandoned it, but I don't know why when he went down to the minor leagues they didn't have him, taking balls at first base. At least give you that as an option. So I don't really understand what they've done with Hines. Just a lot of it doesn't make sense because when they called him up, they didn't play him every day.
Yes. Yeah.
So if their mindset, like I can understand if they sent him down because they didn't want to put him on the weak side of a platoon role where he'll never play, but they didn't play him when he was up here. So it kind of contradicts that. So I don't really get it. He's the kind of player, though. It's almost like if you're not going to use him, why are you not trying to move him? Because I'm sure there's someone that would like to take a shot with Reese Hines right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, and especially with the idea that like you're trying to capture lightning in a bottle, I think a little bit with Reese Hines. I think he's kind of a flash in the pan type player. I'm not saying he won't be good his whole career. I think you're going to get a lot out of him where you see a lot of streaky hitting and then, he kind of lulls, which every player does. But I think he's not going to be as consistent as an everyday player. And I think you should try to capture lightning in a bottle when you have it. But I understand it's kind of a tough situation right now because the outfield's a little crowded. And the only thing you can think about is Garrett Hampson, but he's not going to do any. That made no sense either because he's in, infield, outfield situations. So it does become difficult, but I do feel like you need to try to capture lightning in a bottle with him at some point. But we're hitting the ball a little bit right now. So, at this point, it's kind of tough to make things happen. And I think, Trace, what you said a couple of days ago on the show was so accurate. Like, it feels like every time, we need players, we don't have players. And every time we have players, we feel like we start hitting it. It's like, well, crap. Now we don't want to try anything different. So I kind of feel like that's where we're at with this team right now. But I really appreciate y'all feeling my call today.
Thanks for coming on, Grant. As final quick thought on Hines as well. As we kind of move on to the next caller, is just he plays a good right field, at least what I've seen. Maybe there's some analytics that would tell me differently, but everything that I've seen, he's a very athletic, good looking, strong arm, kind of ranges pretty well in the outfield. So maybe the Reds are just not like, the Reds might like him enough to where they just don't want to basically try to fit him into a position they don't think that he's actually going to play at some point in his career. So they're just willing to kind of ride it out a little bit in maybe an unfortunate situation where he's just not going to be able to play. But if he continues to hit at AAA, I don't know what options they're going to have left. So all right, Grant. Well, thank you for watching the show. Appreciate you for jumping on, and I'll let Nick kind of move on to the next.
All right, I won't bring the next caller on. We'll read DK's second super chat. Gotta love paid break. So he was making sure we knew that.
That's a little
he
CYA.
was on a break,
and
CYA. Also
like
an intelligent in case his superiors are dialed in.
No doubt. That's a big league thought. John,
what's up?
This is optimistic, John, right?
Yeah, this is optimistic, John.
Yeah,
man.
Always optimistic. I've never seen him negative once on this chat.
Well, listen. Now, I was told by TC being negative makes our players better, and that has happened because Espinal and McLean are now my two top players on the team. Because one doesn't strike out and the other one don't miss, and they both don't miss nothing. So, kind of like you, Trace, when you played at Hamilton High, you were pretty good over there.
I tell you what, if you watch me at Hamilton High, I wasn't good enough. I can tell you that right now. I think when you hit like 305 in high school, that's probably not ideal. But
Trace, you were pretty good. My son pitched against you one time, and that was in a closing. We won the game 3-2. But
sounds about right. He pitched for Fairfield or who?
Fairfield, yeah. He went in after John Burton. Burton.
Well, you're sitting here telling me that I'm good, and then you tell me your son came in the game. He faced me one time in high school, and he successfully closed the game.
Three. He faced three of you. There was three of you guys. The last one popped up to first base. They ended up.
What, John? What's one thing that you want to talk about for the Reds tonight?
Oh, well, the one thing I like to talk about is they need to learn when to play small ball. When you got a guy who can't hit right-handed pitching like Espinal, why don't you bunt the guy? I mean, why take the chance for a double play? Now, I can understand if a guy's on second, but that's my big pet peeve. I know that, Nick, you don't like bunting, but even though I had a great baseball teams in high, like summertime, they all had to bunt. I don't care if they could hit home runs or not. They don't do enough bunting on this team. If they did, they'd get more runs.
Nick?
Well, I don't like double plays, so that's the one thing that gets, I think, least criticized in baseball is grounding into double plays. And I understand if sometimes you're going to do it, but I feel like there should be more of like a punishment, because I feel like people complain more about strikeouts than guys that bounce into double plays, and that drives me nuts.
No, that's not it. I don't like strikeouts at all. And I'd much rather see a guy hit the ball and get a chance for somebody to drop the ball But Espinal cannot hit right-handers. And when's he going to learn that? He needs to know when to let him do. You can drag bunt. You can do all kinds of things. You don't have to do a regular bunt.
John, one thought on putting the ball in play, because I was thinking about that myself, and I think that's just been a notion. That's something you hear, obviously, your whole entire life when you're playing baseball, especially when you're coming up, and it's like put the ball in play, good things happen is a phrase. But I do think at the big league level, at some point, if you put the ball in play softly, the guys are so good. There's just not the margins for opportunities for those errors to happen that you would see in Little League, that you would see in middle school, that you would see in high school, and maybe even see it like lower A minor leagues. Now, I'm not saying it will never happen. I'm just saying on a routine ground ball, 98 point whatever percent of the time, the play is going to get made. So I think that's kind of where I've actually softened my stance a little bit. Oddly enough, because of Espinal and some of those situations where he does kind of roll over a ground ball and bounce into a double play. And it's like, well, it would have been nice maybe just for a swing and a miss. But I get the point. I get the sentiment, but that's maybe that's just the opposite viewpoint.
Well, Espinal can lay down a bunt, and so can Matt McClain and Friedel. So when you got those guys up in that situation,
right?
I've seen him go game after game, letting them hitting the double plays, and not once did he. The one time he did the Butcher Boy, why don't he try that again? Is that something they can't do?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's my thought anyway.
Good
I
point.
But anyway,
I like
you guys do a great job. Keep up the good work, Nick. I like you, even though you're way the hell up in Cleveland. I had an ex-wife that lived up there, and I hated that drive. But I'm proud of you that you still stick up for the Reds, because I think they're going to do well. Yeah, I'm optimistic.
Let's go.
Yes, he is. He's optimistic.
Let's go.
Optimistic
John, my last point to you, my friend. I don't love straight sacrifice bunts, especially early in the game, but I feel like there's a massive difference between bunts that are drag bunts that are giving you an attempt to get on base and Butcher Boy. So I'm much more open to those than just the straight sacrifice. I don't think that's usually a good play. But
I'd love to see him do that Butcher Boy. That was probably the best play of the year, other than the home run.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All right, John. Appreciate
Thanks
you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Thanks, John.
All right. 2 more super chats and we'll get to the next one. Someone let
have
me know.
Have they canceled this game yet? Is someone let me know?
Not that I know. We have to switch to the other streams. I put in way too much work to get that bad boy up and running. Josh Lawrence. Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead. This is your job.
Josh Lawrence says the post-game shows are awesome. The Reds are back. They are. They are back. Post-game shows are here to stay. Bryce Spalding says, been on here 10 minutes and a catch and a stray. Jinx
Bryce,
is real.
Bryce, you got to just stick. You got to stick with it, man.
Bryce,
I wouldn't cower. I would
not. I mean, let's face it. I tell you what. A real friend would have come to the defense of Bryce. I was thinking about coming to the defense and being like, yeah, it takes somebody with a lot of courage to question who's hitting fourth tonight. Now, I will say, I'm not above sitting here and just trying to crush every single one of our players if it means they're going to come out and play well every single night. I'm fine. I'll be a whipping stick if I need to be a whipping stick if the Reds are going to win. But it is kind of funny that Spencer Steer decided to hit a home run tonight after Bryce kind of went all in on him. But that's here nor there. All right.
Hey,
Clint.
How's it going, guys?
I mean, Clint got the microphone. You got the chat. You got the Lookouts hat.
We're ready to go.
You got basically what looks like the Reds Hall of Fame behind you, the museum.
Well, Clint, before we get started here, I know Trace is a poser Lookouts fan.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah.
Are you dialed into the Birmingham Columbus game on a screen right now with massive implications for the Lookouts?
No, he thought
you guys can't hear me, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Don't care about Birmingham or whoever, the sock puppets or the Savannah Bananas,
the Trash Pandas,
Listen,
all of them.
When you have a top 5 of guys like Hector and Edwin and Sal and Cam, the list just goes on and on. We don't care. Let the boys play ball. I don't care about Johnny and Sally. Get Cam and Sal out there, and we're going to win the Southern League first half championship or whatever. I will say, This year I've been to 3 of the affiliates. I'm only missing Daytona, which might be coming in July. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk to y'all about today. We got the privilege of going to see Chase Burns this morning, bright and early, and he put on an absolute stellar show today. And from a casual standpoint, it was like, 7 innings pitched is great, 7 Ks, whatever. We were in the player parking after the game, and the Yankees AAA guys are walking out, and they're talking to our guys and saying, "Who is this dude?" They're saying this dude's throwing 100.5 in the 7th inning. He's throwing 90-mile-per-hour sliders in the 7th inning, and he's at 85 pitches, and he's just the same pitcher that he was 2 hours ago. I think the maturity that we've seen from him, which was the only question, was the arm is there, the stuff is there, but can he handle a minor league season? I think we've seen it already. And what do you guys think about maybe calling him up next turn in the rotation?
If it means that I don't have to watch Wade Miley pitch again, you can sign me up tomorrow. I'll keep sitting here being the whipping stick for Wade Miley in hopes that maybe he'll continue to go out there and give us 5 innings, 4 walks, 3 runs, and 4 hits, and we're gonna cheer him on like he's basically gave us a chance to win every game. But I guess. In regards to the Yankees, I don't know if it was the Yankees fans or the players, but if it was the players, their heads been in sand because they should damn sure know who the hell Chase Burns is.
That's what I thought. Yeah, you should definitely know who the second pick in the draft, is.
Yeah,
but it was the players. It was some guys that are like top 100 prospects that were saying, well, this dude's is just nuts.
I don't know. Maybe those guys don't live in the States or something, because otherwise they should damn sure know who the hell Chase Burns is. But that's here nor there. I guess at this point I'm just going to kind of sit back and wait. I do worry that we're going to run into an innings limit situation that the Reds are going to probably impose on him. And that's going to essentially make it to where it's null void to bring him up at some point, because what's the point if he's only going to start 1 or 2 games? Now, you could make the argument that those 1 or 2 games, if they help you win, you're only going to probably make the postseason, if you do make the postseason at the end of the year, by 1 or 2 games. Now, I hope I'm wrong. Maybe the Reds are going to get into the postseason and they're going to be 5 games clear. I have a hard time believing that. If they're going to get in, they're going to get in by just the fine margins. And every game matters. And I think Chase Burns at this point, it's pretty clearly evident to me, gives this team the best chance to win if we don't have a full healthy rotation at this point. So even with the full healthy rotation, I still think he is, but that's here nor there. Nick, any thoughts on Burns or even anything else outside minor league baseball that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's just like so many factors to calling up Burns that I'm not sure what the thinking is, because as I said before, if you're like thinking that you're going to be sellers of the deadline, which 5 days ago it sure felt like that was where the Reds were heading, I think it did almost make sense to keep Burns down at AAA, because you want to you can't take Martinez out of the rotation, you can't take Singer out of the rotation, and you kind of want to keep Wade Miley around because you probably want to trade one of those 2 guys, and you need starting pitchers to get through the year. So I almost think that it's possible that the reason Chase Burns isn't being called up is because the Reds think there's still a good chance they're going to be sellers at the deadline, even though they're obviously not going to come out and say that. And it's, look, Reds could have one terrible week and we're all like, yep, you have to sell. The Reds could have one great week and it's obvious that you are not even considering selling. So there's just so much that can really happen over the next 6 weeks. I guess the Reds are probably trying to position themselves to keep themselves the most flexible, but I don't know. I would like to see Chase Burns up here. That's for sure.
Yeah, one thing we got to talk to him for about 5-10 minutes today, which would, because he's a great human being, other than a great pitcher. But he was talking about the Super 2 deadline, which is tomorrow or the day after. Which, if they're not familiar at home, is when you gain another year of service time with these big, huge prospects. And it's the same thing that the Royals were being flamed about when they called Jack Caglianone up last week, when they're like, guys, just wait a week and you get to keep him for a whole other year. But the humble answer that we get out of him, because obviously we're like, when are you going to go up? And he said, well, maybe if I keep doing okay here, I'll get a spot start in or something. And but I think that the stuff numbers, and not even just the numbers, but the stuff itself just plays. It shows for itself that this dude was number 2 pick in the draft for a reason. And honestly, I mean, within how many innings he pitched last year, just because college pitchers throw until their arms fall off the bone. I would not be surprised if there is an innings limit, but at the same time, the Reds, if the Reds are in a good position, I feel like you have to just put your best team forward and try to win some damn baseball games.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it stinks that we continue to find ourselves in this position, because I feel like the Reds, if we were a healthy organization, and what I mean by that is we kind of had big league talent at the big league level at all times, and you kind of never were digging into the wells of the Connor Joes, the Bubba Thompsons, and I don't mean to keep going to Garrett Hampsons of the world, but you get my point. I don't think that we would be as hungry to try to call these guys up as we kind of are. But we're sitting here and we're trying to justify throwing Wade Miley every 5 days right now, and the thing that stinks the most is that this was supposed to be maybe the biggest asset that this franchise had, which was starting pitching depth, yet we don't have it. And now we're, as a fan base, hoping to call up a guy maybe quote unquote too soon, although I don't really believe in that, especially when you have the stuff that he has. I mean, it would be something if he was more of a finesse pitcher that you just didn't know if it would translate. I mean, I don't know, man. Pretty hard to hit a guy that's throwing 101 mile an hour with an absolute hammer for a breaking ball. So we're all on the same page, Clint. I don't know exactly when that'll be, but hopefully it's soon. And if it's not, I guess I'm just going to have to trust the process as much as I don't want to.
Yeah. I think that the biggest thing with him is that he just throws strikes. With Chase Petty, the stuff is there, but he just doesn't throw strikes. And it's hard to find a guy that is as young as Burns is, with an arm and with, somewhat like his fastball's at 101 with 19 inches of vertical break. You're not going to find that from, any other guy in any system. You're just not. And it is, I don't think this stuff is the question. I think it's all just, we're a small market team that has to play by very, we have to play within the margins. We can't just willy-nilly call guys up. We have to make sure we're getting the full amount of contract from some of these guys. So I would say it would not surprise me if he's up in the next week when it's his time to pitch again.
Fair enough. All right, Clint, thanks for coming on, man. It's big time microphone as well, and great voice. Where are you from? Where are you from? Tennessee? Are you from Georgia, Alabama?
Western Kentucky. We're from Western Kentucky.
All right.
I will say, work at 4:00 in the morning every day, so it's very. I always try to hit the post game shows every day while I'm just, very bored out of my mind. So I appreciate y'all for putting in the work that you do and giving us guys that work super early in the morning something to listen to and catch up on.
There you
Yeah,
go.
sorry I don't always get those podcasts uploaded by 4 a.m. Sometimes it's like 4:45, 5 a.m.
Yeah. Well, you can thank Nick for that, man. He stays up to the some would say the A Crack of Dawn kids show, so I'll keep it clean. But nonetheless, thanks for coming on, Clint. Go Reds.
Thank you guys. Go Reds.
Thanks, Clint. All right. You ready?
Well, I think so. I never know. Oh no.
Gentlemen.
Oh, shit.
Look at that hat.
Hey, it ain't no hat, baby. The visor is soaking wet.
What have you been doing today?
Yeah, were you at the game?
No, I was getting ready for Dollywood.
Oh,
because my wife
raw. That strap's supposed to stay flat around your head.
Allegedly.
Okay, fair.
So I may not be Clint, but I do have a friend next to me.
Oh, look at this. I see that you got the looks like the esteemed broadcaster on there. Who else do you have on there?
Got them all.
He's got them all. He said he's got them all. I see Marty on there. The Griffey on there. Rose. Pete Rose. Hit King.
Joe Morgan. Barry Larkin.
Is that
Billy
Hatcher? Billy Hatcher.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Big league. Where did you get this at, and why is this where's this at?
This is the original seat 114 from Riverfront Stadium. So I may not be Clint. I may not have a professional studio.
Right.
But boys and ladies and gentlemen,
you got AirPods.
I just like the Reds. I do have AirPods. Doing it remotely tonight. And I keep getting rained on every time I go downstairs. I'm just getting torrentially downpoured on. So it does not look good for the Reds tonight because I am 4 miles from the stadium. So
well, it looks great for the Reds because that here's the thing. I want you to understand something that the grounds crew clearly doesn't understand is that if it does rain on that field long enough, and we find ourselves in a position after the fifth inning, then the Reds do win tonight. So
some holes in that tarp.
Yeah, I just don't understand why we were so aggressive putting that tarp on. I get that's their job. I understand they're probably judged based off of how fast they get it on. Sometimes you got to be, you just got to know. You got to be a little wise.
Well, I don't want to keep you guys too long. This is fun. The banana phone thing is amazing. I'm all for it. Craig Sandlin was like, hey, dude, there's a link that you can click.
Right.
Be a responsible adult, man.
Right.
Which was fantastic. So, but
any final parting thoughts? What do you got?
Crushing bottled water. I did have a bottled water with a whistle on it because I wanted to blow the whistle on me packing the van for road trips.
Okay.
But road trips, they stink.
Rolf,
4 hours.
Do you work out?
Yes.
Gotcha. It kind of looks like you might.
I mean, I maybe, is it the lighting? Sorry. I'm not trying to like flex on you guys. That's not my goal. I love this podcast. What you guys do. Awesome. Nick's trying to get everything set up in the background.
Yeah, you can always tell when Nick's
Box
just not listening. Trust me. Yeah, exactly. Welcome to my life, Rolf. You're sitting here, you're trying to come up with a thought. You look across the screen, and the guy that you're talking to, supposedly, is not listening to a damn word that you said the entire 5 minutes that you've been on here. He's going back and forth at his screens. He's got fan graphs in one screen. He's got probably Baseball Reference on the other screen. He's got YouTube on another screen. He's got MILB on another screen. He's probably got the DSL Reds box score recap coming in for you via Telegram. Who else knows what the hell's going on there, Kirby's?
What Nick's trying to do is edit me and you out of this as fast as possible.
There's no doubt about
it. Good, bad, or indifferent. And I love it.
Rolf, thanks for all the super chats, brother.
Hey, I'm always here.
All right.
Rolf, have you been to Dollywood before?
No, and I don't want to go tomorrow. Full disclosure.
I haven't been to Dollywood in a long time, but my grandparents used to live like 5 minutes away. So I used to go all the time when I was a kid. I love Dollywood. I thought it was a great little park, but I don't know. It's been like 25 years. So
hey, people are saying in the chat the game's canceled. People are saying in the chat we win. I'm just telling you.
I'm really scared to show up to Dollywood tomorrow and not have an Oscar for Dolly Parton, like a plastic Oscar. I mean, they announced that today. Tom Cruise, sorry. Both getting Lifetime Achievement Awards.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Well, you enjoy going down there and rubbing it up with all of the big timers down there getting their rewards. But I do want you to know, Rolf, that the Reds just won. Do you know that? Did you know that?
Well, you know what they say.
What do they say?
And
this.
Go ahead, Nick.
1
belongs
to
the
Reds, baby.
Nice job, Rolf. All right, Rolf. We're gonna let Nick figure out what we're gonna do here, and then we're gonna start a new stream. What are we doing, Nick?
We're going back to we're going to go to the original stream, but we're going to Ethan's been waiting, so let's let Ethan give a quick 30 seconds since Ethan's been waiting, and then we will be moving back to the original stream. Ethan, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Great, Ethan. How are you, buddy?
Hey, I'll make it really quick. I really appreciate what you guys do. Sorry my camera's not working.
That's okay. That's all right.
Just had a quick trade deadline question, I guess. Sorry if this has already been asked. I think this is fascinating, and I talk about this with my friends a lot that watch the Reds. Lodolo and Abbott. I know Lodolo, I believe, Nick, you've talked about in the past. Lodolo, sooner or later, I don't know how many years are left on his contract. Could you see the Reds, no matter the position they're in, looking to trade one of those guys and rebolster the farm system, or even maybe get major league talent back? Not necessarily a sell-off, but trying to like think ahead like a team like the Brewers would. I'm just curious your thoughts on that.
They should, in my opinion. I don't know, it's just tough because the pitching depth really just eroded really quickly. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely an opportunity here to capitalize on the starting pitching market. Talked a little bit about it with Mike on our special show on Monday. But it's just really hard to see you trading a starting pitcher and still getting to the playoffs almost, unless you do something really, really creative. I don't know, Trace, you got any thoughts on that?
No, I mean it all really comes down to what they're going to do at the deadline, based off whether they believe they can make the postseason or not. If they think they can make the postseason, they're not going to move anybody from a starting pitching perspective at all. If anything, I think they'll add a couple bullpen pieces, and then I really don't want to get fans excited. I don't think that they're really going to even go out and get a major splash when it comes to a big bat, but I could be wrong. If things go sideways, which we obviously hope they don't, then I do think that there's some opportunity, because I think that the Reds are going to put their faith in the fact that Burns and Rhett Lauder are going to be something. Andrew Abbott's going to be there, whether it be Lodolo they move. I honestly think of all the pieces, Lodolo seems to be the one that they're probably most comfortable with moving, if I had to guess. What you would get back in return for Nick Lodolo, I don't know. And again, that's what all this stuff always comes down to. Whenever you talk about trades, it's almost irrelevant, because unless you know the full details of the deal, then you're sitting here, you're kind of making up players that you might be willing to give away. And although it sounds ridiculous to say, if you're the Reds, there really no one should ever be off limits. I mean, you should always at least entertain options. And if someone's willing to give you the most absurd deal in the world, even though it's a fan favorite and it might not make any sense, then if it means that you can bolster the farm system, have some big league ready players also in the deal, then go ahead and do it. So, but I think if you're just talking starting pitching, Nick Lodolo seems to be the guy that they would probably move the easiest.
I think you can see him being moved this offseason. I think that's probably your most likely scenario in this. Definitely, unless the Reds go ice cold the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they still think they're going to assume that they're going to have between a combination of Petty, Burns, and Lauder, they're gonna believe that 2 of the 3 of those guys are going to be a part of the rotation moving forward, and that's not counting anybody that might just continue to throw the ball well in the farm system that might sneakily come up and do relatively well. So, yeah, thanks, Ethan. We're gonna jump. I think, Nick, are we gonna go to? We're gonna go to our other.
Yeah, I have you auto redirected. So I'm gonna hit the outro video. It's gonna be about 30 seconds. Then you'll be sent over to our other stream, and we'll start that up as soon as we can, and we'll do a normal post game show. So you'll be redirected. You don't have to click anywhere if you don't want to. We'll see you soon.
All right, we're gonna start it up.